Country music icon who never forgot about her Pennsylvania roots stops in Crawford County.
Grammy award-winning singer Jeannie Seely visited her hometown of Townville today for the unveiling of new signs that honor her accomplishments.
She's a Grammy winner, a genuine trailblazer, and the woman who has owned the Grand Ole Opry stage for over 5 decades. We all know Jeannie Seely, the icon, the one they call Miss Country Soul. But at 85 years old, her greatest challenges aren't happening under the stage lights. They're in her day-to-day life, as she balances a legendary career with serious personal health battles and the quiet grief of losing the love of her life. So, what does her life really look like now? Stick with us as we explore the full story, from her private family relationships and the riverside home she cherishes, to the impressive financial legacy she has quietly built. This is Jeannie Seely's Life Today. In the star-studded world of country music, some lights burn bright for a moment and then fade out. But a special few become constellations, permanent fixtures that guide the artists who come after them. Marilyn Jean Seely, born in the small town of Titusville, Pennsylvania on July 6, 1940, is one of those enduring lights. For more than half a century, she's been more than just a singer. She's been a force of nature, a songwriter of incredible depth, a groundbreaking performer, and the unwavering heartbeat of the Grand Ole Opry. Her voice, packed with a raw, soulful emotion that earned her the nickname Miss Country Soul, completely shattered the mold of the typical female country singer. It was a voice that could give you longing, heartbreak, and resilience all in a single note. It was a voice that demanded to be heard. And the whole world truly heard it in 1966 with a song that would not only define her career but become a country standard forever, "Don't Touch Me." That song wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural moment. It shot to number 2 on the charts, earned her a Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance, and announced the arrival of a woman who wasn't afraid to sing about the complex and often messy realities of love and desire. But Jeannie's impact goes way beyond one song. She was a revolutionary in her own right. She was the first woman to regularly host segments of the Grand Ole Opry, breaking a long-held tradition. She famously wore a miniskirt on that sacred stage, a simple fashion choice that sent shockwaves through the conservative Nashville establishment and, in doing so, broke what historians now call the gingham curtain. She paved the way for women in country music to be more than just singers, but to be personalities, bold, funny, and unapologetically themselves. Her influence is woven right into the fabric of country music. Her songs have been recorded by a staggering list of legends, from Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson to Dottie West and Ray Price. She's one of a rare few to have a #1 hit as a solo artist, a duet partner, and a songwriter. And her dedication to the Opry is nothing short of legendary. In 2022, it was confirmed that Jeannie Seely holds the record for the most performances of any artist in the Opry's nearly century-long history, having stepped into that sacred circle over 5,300 times. But behind the towering legacy, the shiny awards, and the history-making moments, there's a woman. A woman who, at 85, is navigating a life far from the roar of the crowd. It's a life filled with profound love, deep loss, quiet routines, and an unbreakable spirit. And as we get to know the woman behind the icon, we begin to see the true picture of Jeannie Seely today. So if you're a fan of country music legends, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss what's coming up. For an artist who has spent a lifetime in the spotlight, Jeannie Seely's family life has remained a source of quiet strength and deep personal meaning, often kept away from the glare of the stage. Her story isn't one of a conventional family, but rather a rich tapestry of love, marriage, and the blended families that have defined so much of her life. One of the most important relationships in Jeannie's life, both personally and professionally, was her marriage to the songwriting giant Hank Cochran. When Jeannie rolled into Nashville in 1965 with $50 and a dream, it was Cochran who saw the fire in her spirit and the soul in her voice. He was the genius behind classics like Patsy Cline's I Fall to Pieces, and their connection was immediate and electric. They married in 1969, becoming one of Nashville's ultimate power couples. Hank even wrote "Don't Touch Me," the song that made her a star. Around 1975, they built a sprawling farmhouse on 77 acres, a home that became a hub for country music's elite. However, the pressures of fame eventually took their toll, and they divorced in 1981. Despite their marriage ending, they remained close friends until Cochran's death in 2010. Now, a question that often comes up for fans is about her children. To be clear, Jeannie Seely has never had biological children. However, she has been a loving mother figure throughout her life. During her marriage to Hank Cochran, she became a devoted stepmother to his 3 sons. In a later interview, she also spoke about helping to raise 2 of her duet partner Jack Green's sons, simply because, as she put it, she was the only one there. This quiet sense of responsibility says everything about her character. Today, she absolutely delights in being a grandmother. Her step-grandchildren affectionately call her Grammy, a name she treasures. She loves the sweet irony of it, often laughing and saying, "Well, let's see now, I won a Grammy and now I are one." After years on her own, love found Jeannie again later in life. In 2010, she married Gene Ward, a respected Nashville attorney. Their relationship was a source of huge joy and stability for her. Gene was a distinguished man, a pillar of his community, and her rock, especially as they faced health challenges together. When Gene had a serious health scare in 2018, his recovery was so remarkable that doctors called it a medical miracle. To celebrate, the couple renewed their vows during a country music cruise in 2019, a beautiful public declaration of their love. Tragically, their love story came to a peaceful end in late 2024. Gene Ward passed away at the age of 92 after a battle with cancer. Jeannie shared the news with her typical grace, posting a photo of the sunrise with the caption, "Gene's first morning in heaven." In a statement, she expressed her profound grief, saying, "My heart is broken now, but I am so grateful for the 15 years I had with Gene. I knew he was a good man when I married him, but as I experienced life with him, I learned he was a really great man." His passing marked a new, difficult chapter for Jeannie, as she faced life without the partner who had been her constant support for over a decade. This journey of love, loss, and the beautiful messiness of a blended family has shaped Jeannie Seely into the woman she is today, a woman built not just on hit records, but on the real, human connections that hold us all together. For a woman who has practically defined the word unsinkable throughout her career, recent years have tested Jeannie Seely's resilience in ways she could have never imagined. Her public life has always been one of strength and glamour, but behind the scenes, particularly in 2024 and 2025, she has been waging a private war for her health. The first major public scare came way back in 1977, when she was in a serious car accident that resulted in a fractured jaw, broken ribs, and a collapsed lung. Thankfully, she recovered, an experience that gave her a new appreciation for life. Her dear friend, Dottie West, was by her side, helping to care for her, an early glimpse into the fighting spirit that would define her later years. But the last few years have brought a different kind of fight. In August 2024, she was hospitalized for acute diverticulitis, a serious illness that worried her fans. She recovered and, in true Seely fashion, got back to work. But this was just a prelude to the toughest health battle of her life. The fall of 2024 was brutal. As her beloved husband Gene's health faded, she was right there with him. On Thanksgiving morning, he was hospitalized as his cancer had returned. She cared for him through his final days until his passing in December 2024, a period of immense emotional strain. Just as she was grappling with this incredible loss, her own health took a frightening turn. In early 2025, fans noticed her absence from the Grand Ole Opry and her Sirius XM radio show, Sundays with Seely. For an artist as dedicated as Jeannie, this was a clear sign something was very wrong. In May 2025, she finally broke her silence, revealing the harrowing truth. She had undergone multiple back surgeries in March, followed by 2 emergency abdominal surgeries in April. The complications were severe, landing her in the ICU for 11 days with a dangerous case of pneumonia. In a message to her fans, she was candid about her struggle. "Rehab is pretty tough," she admitted, "but each day is looking brighter." Yet, even then, her iconic wit shone through. She quipped, "Last night, I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. And it was neon, so I knew it was mine." The unsinkable Seely is working her way back. That one sentence is pure Jeannie Seely, a woman who faces the dark with a defiant sparkle, forever tied to the neon glow of the Nashville stage. This period has been the fight of her life, but her focus is on the future. She has made it clear she intends to fully recover and return to the Opry, her radio show, and even release new music. Her story is no longer just about Opry Records, it's about the raw courage to face mortality and the unwavering desire to step back into the light. After decades under the bright, demanding lights of show business, Jeannie Seely's home is more than just a house, it's her sanctuary. It's a place of peace, memory, and quiet comfort, tucked away from the non-stop energy of Music Row. For years, during her marriage to Hank Cochran, Jeannie lived in a large farmhouse in Hendersonville. But as her life changed, so did her needs. In the early 1990s, she chose to downsize, moving to a smaller home she lovingly calls her cottage. This home sits in a quiet Nashville neighborhood, with its back deck overlooking the gentle flow of the Cumberland River. It's here she has created a space that is truly hers. The charming cottage, built in 1946, is modest but rich in character. Public records show it's a single-story home of just over 1,300 square feet, with 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a cozy fireplace. Photos and interviews reveal a space filled not with expensive furniture, but with memorabilia and personal treasures from an incredible life. It's a living scrapbook of her journey, but this sanctuary hasn't been immune to disaster. In May 2010, Nashville was hit by a catastrophic flood, and the Cumberland River rose with a vengeance. 3 feet of water flooded her home, destroying nearly everything she owned. It was a devastating loss. Yet, in the face of it all, Jeannie's resilience shone through. With help from community volunteers, she chose to rebuild. The experience even had a silver lining. She and her new husband, Gene Ward, whom she married that same year, rebuilt the cottage together. As she said, "We got to choose things and rebuild it together, and it belongs to both of us and we're both a part of it." They transformed a place of loss into a shared project of love. Her daily life, when not interrupted by health issues, is one of comfortable routine. It's a mix of managing her career and spending time with friends and family. She loves to host, and while her cottage is cozy, she often used Gene's larger home for big family get-togethers. This practical setup gave her the best of both worlds. Travel has also been a big part of her lifestyle, especially her well-known love for cruises, which serve as both work and play, allowing her to connect with fans in a more relaxed setting. Ultimately, Jeannie Seely's home and lifestyle reflect a woman who has found true contentment. She consciously moved from the grand scale of her earlier life to a more intimate and deeply personal existence. Her cottage on the Cumberland isn't a monument to fame, but a testament to her priorities: comfort, connection, and the enduring power of home. It's a peaceful sanctuary where Miss Country Soul can just be Jeannie. In the world of celebrity profiles, the conversation always turns to the tangible signs of success: the cars, the assets, and of course, the net worth. For an artist like Jeannie Seely, whose career has spanned an incredible 6 decades, her financial legacy isn't just a number, it's the story of her perseverance, business savvy, and her unique place in country music history. First off, let's talk about cars. Unlike celebrities who flash collections of exotic vehicles, Jeannie's approach seems far more practical. There are no public reports of a fleet of luxury cars. The most notable mention of a vehicle comes from the tragic 2010 flood, where her car was destroyed along with her home. Her focus has always been on her music and her home, not a garage full of collector's items. So, how does that translate to her financial standing? Now, for the number you've been waiting for. After decades of hits, performances, and smart career moves, what is Jeannie Seely's net worth? As is common with public figures, estimates vary. Sources in 2024 and 2025 place her net worth in a wide range, anywhere from around $1.4 million to as high as $10 million. This range reflects a long and incredibly diverse career. This substantial wealth is the result of a masterclass in building an enduring legacy. The foundation, of course, is her music. This includes record sales, but more importantly, royalties. As a prolific songwriter, Jeannie penned hits for herself and many others. One of her earliest successes was the R&B classic "Anyone Who Knows What Love Is, Will Understand," recorded by Irma Thomas in 1964 and later featured in shows like Black Mirror. She also wrote Faron Young's 1972 hit, Leavin' and Sayin' Goodbye, and her songs were recorded by legends like Merle Haggard. Every time these songs get played, she earns a royalty, a steady income stream that's been flowing for decades. Live performances have been another massive part of her earnings. From her early days touring with Jack Green to her thousands of paid performances at the Grand Ole Opry, she has been a consistent draw. As the artist with the most Opry appearances in history, the income from those shows alone is significant. In her later career, she diversified even more. Since 2018, she's hosted the popular radio show, Sundays with Seely, on Sirius XM, which provides a steady salary. She's also an author, having published a book of her witty observations, and stage productions, each adding another layer to her financial foundation. Jeannie Seely is a member of an elite club, artists who have a #1 hit as a soloist, a duet partner, and a songwriter. This incredible trifecta is the engine behind her financial success, a testament to her amazing work ethic, multifaceted talent, and her ability to remain a vital part of country music for nearly 60 years. When you look at the incredible story of Jeannie Seely's life at 85, you see a picture that's far more profound than any single award. You see the portrait of a survivor. She survived the cutthroat music industry of the 60s, not by fitting in, but by standing out. She survived personal heartbreak and found love again. She survived a near-fatal car accident, a devastating flood, and now, the biggest health battle of her life, all while mourning the loss of her husband. Her legacy isn't just written in the grooves of a vinyl record. It's carved into the history of the Grand Ole Opry, where she shattered barriers for women and set a record for dedication that may never be broken. It lives on in the songs she wrote for others and shines in the eyes of younger artists like Carly Pearce, who look to her as a role model. Today, Jeannie Seely's life is a delicate balance. It's the quiet comfort of her riverside cottage set against the neon glow of the Opry stage she can't wait to return to. It is the deep grief of loss, soothed by the love of her family and friends. And it's the physical struggle of recovery, fueled by a spirit that simply refuses to quit. At 85, Jeannie Seely is not a relic of a bygone era. She is a living testament to the power of resilience. She is a woman who has earned her fortune, her fame, and most importantly, her peace. Her voice, that iconic Miss Country soul sound, might be a little quieter these days, but her story has never been louder. It's a story of a life lived with courage, humor, and a deep, unending love for the music that's been her constant companion. The unsinkable Jeannie Seely is still here, and that neon light at the end of her tunnel is, without a doubt, still shining brightly. Thank you for joining us for this look into the life of the legendary Jeannie Seely. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about the icons of country music, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Who is another country legend you'd like us to cover? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep the music playing.